right, almost 5 minutes after 9 o'clock. Not a bad-looking Wednesday morning. I hope you're doing well. The next book cover reminds me of the White Album. Remember the White Album, Joe?
Oh, yeah, Beatles.
Nothing on it, right? There's nothing on the cover of this. And I think it's because our guests, who are the authors of the book, want to remain anonymous. And in the book, they write about food addiction. The book is titled Food Addicts in Recovery, and it is written by Anonymous, and they have asked that I call them Anne and Alan, which are not their real names. They want to completely remain anonymous, and I'm curious about this. I mean, in a way, I wonder if I have ever been addicted to food. I don't know. I mean, you have to eat, you know. So
well, it's like I think it's like people go in binges. Like I want pizza.
Right.
But then after 2 weeks of pizza, then you go, no more pizza. So,
well, yeah, I might be addicted to pizza. I think you hit on the very food I might be addicted to.
There you go. Yeah.
Anne and Alan, I love the fact that you've written this. It's a subject that a lot of people don't want to talk about. People who are overweight are shamed for being overweight, which it's kind of contrary to what the rest of the world of addiction teaches us. Is treated like a disease. So, good morning, Anne and Alan. Thank you for coming on the show with us today.
Good morning, Larry. We want to clarify.
Okay.
You're breaking up.
All right. You know what's happening right now? I think our decision to use the speakerphone is not working because you're really cutting out pretty bad.
Every other word sounds good, though.
Yeah.
Okay, how's that?
That's much better. Okay. So explain.
Okay.
Thank you for calling in. What did I get wrong there?
Okay, so the book is not written by Anne and Alan. It is the collective conscience of a 12-step group called Food Addicts in Recovery Anonymous.
Oh, okay. I apologize for not realizing that. Okay. But you...
Yeah, so many minds have put this together through experience, strength, and hope.
So they're
came out in 2013, yeah.
Okay, so is it fair to say that you and Alan identify as food addicts or former food addicts?
Yes, we are food addicts, and we consider food addiction a disease.
Okay.
And as a disease, it's not going away, but we are able to arrest it one day at a time. We do not indulge in food addiction. We do not have the ramifications and consequences of food addiction. And it's come about through this program that we're in, Food Addicts in Recovery Anonymous. It's kind of like Alcoholics Anonymous, only with food instead of drink.
The difference would be that you can't, if you're an alcoholic and you're deciding you're not going to be one anymore, you don't touch it at all, right? With food.
Yes, we have it. Yes, we do. Now, I know alcoholics say that they're sober, and so they put their drink down, and so food addicts, what they do is have the term abstinence, and they put their drug down. And so the drug that we have identified, this collective conscience over the years, is flour and sugar and quantities.
Ah, okay. That sounds like pizza.
Yes, it would be something like that. Now, we've also found that if you indulge in your addiction of flour and sugar in quantities, it sets up an uncontrollable craving in your mind to want more. So you know that old saying about, you have one potato chip, you can't stop with just one.
Right.
That's it. That is it. The cravings come about, you start indulging, you wish you didn't, and you're not sure how to get out of it. And it could be pizza, it could be donuts, it could even be some other, like beans and rice or whatever, but you just have way too much of it. So
beans and rice. Now, how does beans and rice fit into the category of flour and sugar?
Well, it would fit under the category of quantities.
Okay, so you can have beans and rice. You just can't have a whole lot of it.
Right.
Oh, okay.
But you find out what you are to eat, how much you are to eat, and when you are to eat. through the program, you get a sponsor, and your sponsor will identify what your food plan is.
Can I ask?
And then you.
I don't know if this is a dumb question or an obvious question, Ann and Alan. But and it's got two parts to it. So let me just ask both parts. Are all people who are overweight food addicts? That's part one. And part two is, could a food addict not be overweight? Could you be a food addict and still be thin?
Oh, there's food addiction manifests in many ways. You could be an undereater. You could be bulimic. In other words, you eat and eat and eat and throw it up. So it could manifest in many ways.
Oh, okay. And do you and Alan, did you have an obesity issue?
Yes, myself, I lost 100 pounds at least 2 to 3 times. And what my problem was, I knew how to lose weight, but I didn't know how to keep it off. I always went back to the food.
Okay. So are you mostly vegetarian now, or no? What's for lunch today, for example?
Well, I ate eggs, I ate potatoes, I ate
Protein.
eggs, I ate chicken. I eat pretty much everything. The only thing is that I don't eat flour and sugar.
Well, that's
So I don't make a sandwich.
so no spaghetti, no pasta at all.
Correct.
That's hard for me. And pizza and spaghetti.
Well, it was for me too in the beginning.
Really?
And no bread?
No bread.
Yeah, I thought to myself, how do you make a sandwich without bread?
Well, how do you go? Well, when you go out to eat, any of the fast food restaurants, 99.99% of them, everything they make is put between two buns of some sort, or flour.
Yeah, we don't go to fast foods. We don't go to fast food restaurants.
Not at all?
So you eat at home all the time.
Not necessarily, no. We go out to eat lunch, dinner.
Okay. Is it
But our choices are usually nice crispy salad, a pork chop, some baked potato, and some vegetable, and some fruit for dessert.
So you're telling me that you're going to a sit-down restaurant when you go out to eat. Am I correct?
Correct.
All right, that sounds good.
Well, see, that falls into the category of money now, because it's all well and good that everybody is hurting, they're addicts and everything, but can they afford not to be? Because when you go down to a restaurant, I don't know anyone that can eat less than $15 a pop at any restaurant that's decent, that you would walk in and not be afraid to walk into. So does that play a factor in this also?
Well, myself, I don't go to restaurants that often. We go out maybe once a month or maybe once every other month as far as going to dinner. But I do have, what I was taught a long time ago is that it's about the people around the table, not what's on the table. So when I do go out to dinner, it's out to go out with the friends.
Mm-hmm.
So is that a trick? Is that a trick? Not to use the word trick in an inappropriate way, but I mean, is that kind of a tip? Maybe instead of the word trick, is like, how did you defeat the addiction? And it sounds like that was one of them. Is to just rethink what the eating experience is.
Correct. Yeah, that was in the beginning really kind of hard because it was, for me when I went out to dinner, it was all about the food and what was on the table. And my sponsor told me that, that when I first started a program, don't even look at the menu because the menu has nothing on it that's abstinent. You look at it's all juiced up with spices and everything else.
Uh-huh.
And so when I do, I just order what I need.
What is the reason? I don't even know if this is true or if this is just what people say, but what is the reason, if it's true, that French people seem to be able to eat bread no problem, and they don't seem to have an obesity problem in that country?
Oh, we can't really identify with the people that don't have the problem because we have the problem, and that would be. I don't know.
Okay. Did you
it's odd, but it could be because we have so many fast food places here and other places, and and we get involved in that, and then it's hard to walk away from that.
Also, do you think it's also the contributing is all the preservatives that are in the foods nowadays? Is that a
we
contributor
can't
to
speak
it?
to that either, though.
Well, I think of myself, a lot of it has to do with that pretty much everything has sugar in it when you're looking at it. And it's a matter of finding the foods that don't have it. You know, we were taught that you read the ingredients, not so much the calories or anything else. So we make sure that the word sugar or dextrose or anything like it is at least fifth or further down on the line.
In addition to losing weight, did kicking the addiction manifest itself in any other ways? Do you have more energy? Is anything else in your life better?
Yeah, I was not very approachable. I was always angry and frustrated most of my life, and I didn't know why. And when I got into this program, I was single for 17 years before I came into this program. And doing this program and learning this program, I actually became more approachable. Because what I found that when I would lose weight, the thinner I got, the more frustrated and angry, the more emotions came
Really?
out.
Wow.
And when I finally got abstinent, I was terrified because I was afraid that when I got abstinent, I would be right back to that same angry person.
Are you husband and wife? Are you a couple?
Yes, we are now.
Oh, okay. So,
Yes,
you,
uh-huh.
So, Anne, did you have a similar experience? And did you guys meet after you were able to kick the addiction?
Yes, I had 4 years of abstinence. Let me explain what abstinence is. It's weighed and measured meals, so that eliminates the quantities. Weighed and measured meals with nothing in between. So we have our meals and we don't have snacks, and no flour and no sugar and no individual binge food. So, you know, if there's something that I really ate too much of, I'm not going to include it in my meals today because it could bring that back up again. So I was abstinent 4 years before Jim and I met, and he was in a program a couple of years, and then we dated for a year. We were engaged for 6 months, and then we got married in the program.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let me ask you this question here. I'll just go by my personal experience. I'll eat my breakfast, I'll eat my lunch, and I'll eat my dinner. Now, dinner time is usually between 5 and 6 or 5 and 7, that 2-hour window. Now, no one goes to bed at 7:30 or 8 o'clock. Usually they go to bed 9, 10, or 11. Between that time and bedtime, my stomach does a grumble. And usually I'll have a snack to stop the grumble. Not a big snack, but just a little cake or a little cake, not a big cake.
I'm laughing because it sounds like me.
Yes. Or something, even potato chips, but not a whole lot. I'm talking about 10, 20 little potato chips there. But you're saying that after you eat supper, from then to the time you go to bed, you have nothing? A cup of tea or anything will hold you over? What do you do when it grumbles? Everybody grumbles, I know that. So,
Actually,
No, we don't.
most of that is went away. What I had thought for myself, I never really felt hungry. I was either eating or I was stuffed. I ate until I couldn't get any more down, and then I had to stop. And then as soon as I had room, I would eat again. And that was probably one of the miracles of this program. I can't even tell you the first day that I ate 3 meals and didn't think about food during the day. I was absolutely blown away because I always thought about food.
wow.
Yeah, and at night we could have tea or we have hot water with lemon, but it's not a craving. And so once the flour and sugar is down, it's amazing how the cravings subside. But you may not be a food addict, so that's probably, like you said, you had 20 chips. I mean, I could never close the bag. And once I started, I'd have to finish it.
Yes, that sounds like me too. All right, so I want to reintroduce you. We don't know our guests' real names. They go by Anne and Alan, and everybody in the book that they helped write is anonymous. The book is called Food Addicts in Recovery, and nobody is
Anonymous.
Anonymous.
Oh, that's the whole name. Okay, I thought that was the author, Anonymous. Okay, Food
No.
Addicts in Recovery Anonymous. And I found it on Amazon. I do have a copy of the book. If we have somebody who would like it, you can call me and I'll have it ready for you here or waiting for you here. But it looks like you're getting really good reviews. The one question that I've noticed other people are asking is this: do you have or did you have any withdrawal period after you decided to make a change?
This is Judy. This is Ann. And
Disregard the
I
first
did
name.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Ann.
So I did have a real time of energy loss. I
Uh-oh.
was tired. I had a headache. But, it went away within maybe a week. And then I had extra energy. And so I began to get my original energy that I had before I gained weight and pursued food rather than life.
Really?
I got my energy back.
So there was a leveling off period then.
Yeah, I guess like all addictions, huh? Let me take a phone call. Good morning. Thank you for calling. You're on the air with Ann and Alan.
Hi, I just have this theory about the French food that you brought up before that I've been thinking about for a long time. I got the idea from Monica Reinagel, the nutrition diva. She talked about the glycemic index in food. If you have something like bread, it's got a high glycemic index. If you have something like cheese, it has a low glycemic index. If you eat them together, it brings it down to medium glycemic index, so you don't end up gaining weight the way, as opposed to if we eat a lot of bread, stuff with a high sugar count, and it doesn't balance out with something that you eat with a low sugar count.
Okay.
And that may be when they don't lose the weight or they don't gain the weight.
Ann and Alan, you want to comment on that? Thank you for the call.
I couldn't really
understand. But
Oh, she was talking about the glycemic index and the combinations of foods.
Well, I will say this, that I weigh 125. I'm
That's my left leg.
5'4", and I've been that way for 18 years. And so I'll go up a pound, I'll go down a pound, but not much. And when I go to the doctor, I go on my annual checkup. My blood work is so good, and she says, "You're my one healthy patient." And I try to tell her if she has some people suffering from this disease, to come to our program. We have several meetings. We have one in Claremont by Orlando. We have one at the Villages in Fruitland Park. We have one in Inverness, and we have one in Lecanto at the YMCA. And they can come and find out more about it.
Are you local? Where are you?
We
live in Beverly Hills, Florida.
Oh, okay.
We know where that is.
Oh, excellent. All right, I didn't realize.
Yeah, and so
I didn't realize.
there's one at the Villages in Fruitland Park on Tuesdays, and that's at 4:30 in the afternoon. And on Mondays in Claremont, that's if people are in Orlando, they can get to that one. That one's at 9 a.m. The Saturday meeting is at the YMCA in Lecanto, and then there's a Thursday night meeting at 6:30 in Inverness.
Let me squeeze
And they can
in.
get this information on foodaddicts.org too.
Okay.
Yeah, www.foodaddicts.org.
Okay, excellent. Let me squeeze in another phone call. Good morning. Thank you for calling. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. I just wanted to point out that not everything in a fast food restaurant is terrible. I frequent Waffle Houses when I'm out on the road, and they make an excellent grilled chicken salad, which is not heavy on the calories, and I just have a glass of iced tea with it, and I'm good to go. I
Thank you.
Point that out. Have a good day.
Thank you. I think that's a really good point. But I'm wondering, Ann and Alan, when you are an alcoholic, even if a bar sells something that's just soda or club soda, whatever, you still might be tempted. Is that the same kind of philosophy? Do you stay away from fast food restaurants just because it's too tempting?
No, not really.
No? Okay.
I found that it's like anything, like they say that if I have a good reason for going in there, because I have went through an airport and didn't have food, and I've had to go to a McDonald's or something like that to get what I needed. Mm-hmm. But I just don't get the bun. I throw the bun away. I get what I need and discard the rest.
But just to go to a fast food, I mean, one of the things we have for lunch and dinner is vegetables, and they're usually steamed, but sometimes they're roasted or grilled. And so the fast food places don't often provide that.
No,
so
I was saying that, yeah. Sure.
Do you have a harder time than other times? And I'm going to ask it in two ways, like a harder time of the day or a harder time of the year? Do you have, are there difficult things time-wise where you have to have a trick or two to get through them?
Well, we do have our fellowship, and so we can call each other when there's, times of temptation, like Christmas for one. People are holidays around that time. They get together with families, and families are bringing all their old goodies that they used to have, and so one of the things that's really supportive for us is we have our meetings, which reminds us we're an addict and it's not going away, but we're just not indulging. And then we have our fellows that we can call and say, oh, this is going on. And they could say, well, that happened to me, but just don't eat today. Eat your own meals and you'll be fine. And the support is wonderful.
Ann and Alan, I think you're an inspiration to many people, as are the other authors of this book. This is a book of many different authors, and I'm sorry I didn't realize that at first, but I do have a copy of the book. It is available on Amazon. You guys are getting some really good feedback on Amazon. I'm looking at the page right now. Looks like you've got some really good reviews. The book's been out a while, though, hasn't it? When did this come out?
Yes. 2013.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, and thank you for coming on the air here in Ocala. I had no idea you were only as far away as Beverly Hills. Call me if you want the copy of the book that was sent to me, and we'll put your name on it. It'll be waiting for you. Before we say goodbye, I know you gave us a website earlier. Give it again, if you could, please.
www.foodaddicts.org. And on the website is the 20 questions, and you can take it and see if you're a food addict. You can decide for yourself.
Okay.
Wow.
If you want to share this interview, we have made a recording of it, so it'll be up as a podcast by 2 o'clock this afternoon. Ann and Alan, congratulations on your success, and thank you. I think you're brave for sharing this story. I don't know that I understand why you all want to remain anonymous, but at the same time, maybe you just want to. So thank you both.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you for being on.
The only reason I tell you about the anonymous is strictly for newcomers. A person that's coming to a meeting for the first time is usually embarrassed.
Okay, yeah, I understand that.
Oh, well, it makes sense.
All right, thank you both. We'll take a little break. Be right back.
All right, thanks.
Howdy, folks. RL here for Dairy Queen again to tell you about what's hot and what's not. Dairy Queen has some of the best char-grilled chicken breasts on earth, as well as their chicken breast salad. And the burgers are exceptional, cooked on a real grill for the best flavor and less fat. And for dessert, blizzards are unequaled. Personally, banana split is my all-time favorite. Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
Keep up with what's going on in the downtown area with Ocala Downtown Newspaper. Delivering thousands of newspapers to businesses in the downtown area, Ocala Downtown is there to keep you informed. They even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about it. It's simple. For more info, just call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223, and pick up your copy of the Downtown Ocala newspaper today.
And now read Ocala Downtown Newspaper online.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Wednesday, mostly sunny. Highs in the mid to upper 60s. Patchy clouds Wednesday night. Lows ranging from the mid-40s in the coldest interior spots to the mid-50s along the coast. Partly sunny Thursday and warmer. High 71 to 75. And Friday, a nice day with clouds and sun highs in the low to mid-70s. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
It's time for the Dunellen Farm Days Antique Tractor and Equipment Show, February 9th and 10th, 6 miles west of Dunellen on State Road 40. Don't miss this fun family event. Entry is just $5 each or $15 for a carload up to 6 people. Children 12 and under are free. There will be craft and food vendors, live music, demonstrations, a petting zoo, children's activities, and more. Again, that's February 9th and 10th for the Dunellen Farm Days. For information, call 352-472-2703, 352-472-2703.
Greetings.
Fox News Radio, I'm Chris Foster. In his State of the Union address, President Trump talked up the strong economy during his time in office and the tax cuts taking effect.
Millions of Americans will have more take-home pay starting next month, a lot more.
The president calling for cooperation on immigration reform.
The sacred duty of every elected official in this chamber is to defend Americans, to protect their safety, their families, their communities, and their right to the American dream. Because Americans are dreamers too.
Dreamers meaning the young illegal immigrants brought here as children who could face deportation. To them, Massachusetts Congressman Joe Kennedy III says in the Democrats' official response,
"You are part of our story. We will fight for you, and we will not walk away."
There was little to no applause from Democrats during the president's speech. Fox News, we report, you decide.
What happened? You used to go hours without visiting the bathroom. Now it seems like you're constantly getting up to pee. Listen, the makers of Super Beta Prostate are introducing a new wonder pill, Super Beta Prostate P3 Advanced, with 3 key ingredients that are great for your prostate. To celebrate, your first 30-day supply is free. Pay shipping and handling. Get P3 Advanced free. Call 1-800-215-9360. 1-800-215-9360. 1-800-215-9360.
When you're hiring, you want qualified candidates.